All right, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and the House GOP Doctors Caucus are introducing a resolution to force a vote on changing the House mask policy in light of CDC's newest guidance for people who have been vaccinated. Now, this comes after about a dozen Republicans refused to wear masks during evening votes yesterday. Now, with me now to talk about this push and the CDC's newest guidance is U.S. Congressman Andy Harris. He's a doctor as well. He represents the 1st District of Maryland, and he co-chairs the GOP Doctors Caucus. Andy, welcome back to the program.
Good to be with you.
So let me just get to the heart of this. Is this about following the science and not the politics of masking?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. Speaker Pelosi, who always chastises Republicans for not following the science, is absolutely not following the science on this. I mean, her own CDC director said it's safe if you're vaccinated to not wear masks, to go back to normal life. I guess that's everywhere except the House floor.
Now, when she was asked about this last week, whether or not she would follow the CDC guidance and ease back on the masking, she gave a resounding no. How strong will the Republicans push this?
Well, we're going to do a privileged resolution today. That's about almost as strong as you can get in the minority. But the bottom line is we're going to continue to talk about the need for the House to provide an example for the nation, to actually say that if you are going to go ahead and get vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. And honestly, it's ridiculous that the Speaker and especially the attending physician is insisting that 100% of people, of members and staff, would have to be vaccinated before they can take their mask off. No one anywhere in the scientific literature or in the public health arena says that everybody has to get vaccinated.
You're absolutely right, Andy, in terms of the messaging of this. I go back to President Biden speaking to a joint session of Congress in which only 200 members were there in this 1,700-seat auditorium. Even though almost every member of Congress has been vaccinated, they can't carry on business as they should. And it tells the rest of America, why get vaccinated? Because we still have to live under these oppressive rules.
That's absolutely right. Look, I'm glad the CDC finally came around. They actually should have done this several months ago. It actually would have encouraged some more people to be vaccinated. But again, this is just pure politics. This is the politics of power. This is the Speaker saying, I'm the ruler. I'm going to set the rules no matter what the science is, no matter, for instance, if somebody's had COVID, as a physician, I usually advise them that they don't need the vaccine. They've had the natural vaccine. Right. There's no evidence that the vaccines that they can get from a doctor are better than having had the disease itself. And yet, under the Speaker's rules, they would have to get a vaccine. And although I encourage a lot of people to get the vaccine, every American has to remember this is not FDA approved. It's only authorized for emergency use.
You talk about power grab. Is this just about trying to control the Congress and, by extension, the American people?
Oh, it has to be. The fact that if you don't wear a mask on the floor, even if you're standing 20 feet away from someone, you get a $500 fine, and the second time you get a $2,500 fine. Now, there aren't many crimes for which, for instance, if you get one speeding ticket, there's a certain fine. When you get the second one, the fine is exactly the same. Not for this, because the Speaker wants to send a message that she's in charge. No matter what the science is, she's in charge.
Can we start a GoFundMe account for members of Congress who get fined for not wearing masks?
Well, they're going to need it, because if she actually intends to fine them, and I just came back from the floor a few minutes ago, the 10 members who didn't wear a mask yesterday didn't wear a mask today, which means they're going to start getting fined. And these fines, and these members are just not going to wear masks from now on, so these fines will build up massively unless the Speaker changes her mind and follows the science.
Well, maybe we need to look into starting that fund so that we can stand with those members of Congress pushing back against these oppressive, overreaching policies of the Democrats. Andy Harris, thanks so much for joining us. As always, great to talk with you.
Thank you.